All right, are we ready?
I'm ready,
Okay.
yes.
Happy Friday, Floss Tube.
Hello.
Hello, crafty friends. I am very fortunate today that my friend Daniel has agreed to come and do a video with me today, all about the Jeanette Douglas project that we have here for sale at Evertote, the Margreat Meadows inspired spools.
Let's talk about spools.
Let's talk about spools. Let's see if we can get it. There we go.
There you go.
Look at that. So pretty. So before we begin, I was wondering, I thought I would ask you something. I was wondering if you might be willing to make this the first in kind of like a series of videos.
Yeah, of course. I enjoy it. I have fun making videos.
But they'd be very specific because I don't know, you and I haven't talked about, I went to the Attic Needlework shop in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and I left there completely inspired by their displays of both samplers, things with specialty stitches, and their smalls, all of the finished smalls. Cute. And because you and I have been talking about, you know, biscornus and you know, pin pillow finishes and these spools, I thought maybe it might be fun if you and I did maybe every couple of months we did something together.
That sounds great. Yeah. You know I love those tiny things.
So I thought that might be a lot of fun because I would love to really start to have a few more smalls.
Yes.
So when I was thinking about these smalls, I remembered that we had this project from Jeanette. Jeanette has done a little video for me to share with you about this project. So I'm going to insert that in a few minutes. It's lovely. Yeah, it's such a nice touch that she did that for us. So shall we tell them about the project?
Yes.
Okay. So Margreat Meadows was a reproduction sampler that Jeanette released last year or the year before. I think it's a couple years old, the original sampler that she released. Yep. And she knew that Hannah had done a Roxy Floss Co floss conversion for it. And she contacted me and she said, would you like me to design something based on the colors that Hannah has done for Margreat Meadows? Because she had this idea to do these spool designs. And I said, yeah, I think, yes, please. And so that's what she did. So she took the floss palette from Margreat Meadows. All of these flosses are the called for threads in this design, this particular chart that she's done for us. So the way that it works is, you can see there are two designs here. One of them was done on 40 count and one of them was done on 36 count. This one, the one on the left, so this one is the 40 count and this one here is the 36 count. So again, you can see the full design there that she's done in full and then wrapped around the spool. You need to choose your fabric based on which
design.
Yeah, because only there's two designs, but only one of them will fit on the spool. So if you choose the 36 count fabric, because that's your preferred count, you'll be stitching the spool design for 36 count and the same for 40 count, right? But you are getting two patterns in each chart. So you will also have enough fabric left over. They get a wide eighth.
Is that enough for
Yeah,
both?
it is, because so this is my I started mine on the 40 count. And I am always, I knew that there wasn't going to need, I didn't need a 3-inch border. So I started well over here. I didn't even count. I knew I'd have enough room. So this is the start on 40 count. And there are 15 of these bumps needed to be finished. So by the time I'm done, it'll be here. I'm still gonna have plenty of fabric over here, but you can see I've still got enough rolled up down here. I'm going to be able to stitch both designs.
You're already ahead. I will start mine tonight.
You can start yours tonight.
Tonight.
Now it's a competition.
Yes.
So there's plenty of space on your wide eighth to stitch both designs. you'll have the choice to choose between 2 different kinds of spools.
The first one that is a scissors holder, so that is my preferred one because I'm suffering from scissors addiction. So, and it's just perfect for me. I already use it without the wrapping at the moment, and it's so handy having the scissors always in place. I love it.
So now you're going to do the one on the scissor holder. The other one is the ornament holder. And so of course you can see that it's got the loop at the top. Now, if you do order this and you change your mind, on the other side, there's a large hole. It's bigger than the hole in the scissor holder.
But it was, yep.
But you could still put your scissors
or
in that as well.
Tools, like
you would just have to
tool
remove, yeah, exactly. You just have to remove that hook at the bottom.
Thank you.
So I am going to do the ornament finish.
And I'm going to do the scissors holder.
And you're going to do the scissors holder.
Yes.
So between the 2 of us, we'll have 1 of each. You're also using 40 count?
Yes.
Okay. So what I thought I would do, because I would like to stitch both designs.
I can also do the 36, I don't mind.
No,
it's easier on my eyes.
Well, that's up to you entirely. I'm not going to tell you which one to do.
How about you do the 40 count and I do the 36 count?
Well, you haven't started? Okay.
So I will start the 36 count.
And then you should stitch the other design as well.
I do that afterwards.
And then I'm going to make a pin cushion out of the second chart. So I'll have 2 different styles of finish. One will be the spools, and then I'll finish the other design that wouldn't fit on the spool I'll make that a pin cushion.
Okay, yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah. I might even have enough linen left over to back the pin cushion.
And it's another great idea that you can turn it into a small cute pin cushion. It's also a nice gift.
Or a needle book or anything like that. You'll have plenty of fabric left over. So there are lots of options in the shop. I think the original full kit came with one of our floss folios, and we do have a few of these left, and I thought I would just show you. I've got my, so I'm getting ready. I've got my chart in the front. We've got 4 felt pages where you can keep your leftover floss. You can stick in your needles that are extra. I usually also will tag a needle minder on the back page so that I've got a needle minder stuck in the floss folio itself. And then I've got a pair of those small scissors, those ones, and
needles.
A pack of needles there. Usually what I do is because I like to keep my floss on rings, and I use the flexible, they're called flexible keychains or flexible key rings, and I buy them off Amazon. They're super inexpensive and they're really useful.
And sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just write the name of the project on a spare tag so I know what the floss group is for. And then normally I'll put the whole thing in the middle, and then I just...
And you're ready to go.
And then I just snap it closed and I'm ready to go. Yeah. And again, you can put your fabric in there as well. All neat and tidy. So that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the video from Jeanette right here, and then Daniel and I will be back at the after you visit with Jeanette, and we'll chat a little bit more about the finishing of this project.
Hi everyone. I just thought I'd take a moment today to show you a couple of things, as Evertote in London, Ontario has kindly taken on Margreat Meadows. This is the original sampler, and we both loved it. She ordered a bunch and transposed this pattern then to their lovely Roxy Floss Co fabric and threads. So check it out on their website. But we both enjoyed it so much, Jeanette went ahead and made some wonderful little spools with the same little motifs that were just really darling. And they're also available on the Evertote website. And I thought I'd show you them for real because they're just darling. So this is the spool that you can hang as an ornament. And the finish on this one, you can see I did nun stitch, but then I just sewed the two sides together in the same color as the nun stitch edging. So whatever color you use the same one, that's fine. Another finish is this. These will both be in the sample. There's the two patterns. One was 40 count, one was 36 count. So just make sure you know what you've got. And this finish is also different again. It overlapped a bit, so then you only have one spine showing. But again, using the same color thread as the nun stitch. And these are all on the hanging ornament spool type holder. And you can have one of the other fashion. This can be a scissor holder. Now, where did I put my scissor? I did have one. Here we go. So the scissor can go in here and your piece will wrap around, or you can have it as an ornament as you saw. The other finish was done for Jingle Ball, and it's a Christmas ribbon and a Christmas pattern, but this was done this way like stitch spool that I originally did a couple of years ago. And this is like using ribbon, putting your 6 buttons, using ribbon, and then tying it like a shoelace shut. And then it just makes a really cute finish too if you want to use that. Anyway, thanks for watching, seeing how our spools are going. Check out evertote.ca. Thanks.
Wasn't that great? It was Jeanette. If you do see this video, I really appreciate that you sent that to us. It was lovely to see your finishes and very inspiring. So now I can't wait to get to it.
Me too.
So Daniel and I were talking about the finishing of this project. Jeanette is having us do something called
the nun stitch.
The nun stitch. So do you want to talk a little bit about the video that you found?
I had no idea what a nun stitch is, so it was something new what I learned. So I watched a video on YouTube how to do a nun stitch. So the nun stitch, basically it prevents the fabric from fraying. So you need to put some kind of an edging around before you put the fabric on the spool. And it's actually not really difficult to perform the nun stitch. So I'm really looking forward to follow that video instruction and just do the first time my nun stitch edge.
So the video that Daniel found, and this is a YouTuber, flosstuber I've recommended before. Her name is Jean Farish, Jean Farish Needleworks. We will put a link in that in the description box below to Jean's video so that you can watch it. Jeanette does have instructions for the nun stitch in this chart, so you will have a visual diagram of how to do the nun stitch. But if you're anything like us,
I like to see it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I like to see a visual representation of what the stitch that I'm trying to learn. So Daniel highly recommends Jean's video, so that's great. I did want to point out, I was reading through the instructions that Jeanette has in here on the nun stitch. She says in here that you are to choose a floss color that matches your fabric or close to it or a little bit darker. But I actually remember that she and I discussed this while she was putting this chart together and while she was doing the model stitching on these charts. And she told me that she actually chose a floss color that was quite a bit darker than she normally would have chosen, because she thought that it played off the lightness of the floss colors that were in the design. So in particular, I think especially the one, you can see it in her photos here, the one that she did for the 36 count design, this one, you can see that nun stitch edging around there. I mean, that doesn't match the fabric. That's quite a bit darker.
Yeah, but it's very decorative.
It is. Yeah. It's a really beautiful decorative touch. And this one you can see that's a little bit lighter. So I think that you can really, you know, play around with that a lot and choose something that you love. You know, use one of the flosses from the floss pack to finish your nun stitch.
Or something else. Yeah.
Or something else, exactly. So I think that's a pretty great introduction. There are links There's gonna be links in the description box below to these products in the shop if you would like to join in with us. Today is actually Wednesday. We're cheating just a little bit because I was hoping Daniel and I are gonna go home and do a little bit of the stitching. Then we're gonna take some photos and add our photos in of our stitching at the end of this video. And then we'll come back in 2 weeks and show you our finishes.
Okay, sounds
Does that
good.
enough time, or do you want longer than that?
I think so. I think I can manage.
Okay.
I think it's
I can't
manageable.
do both in 2 weeks,
but I think one
could
should be
Yeah.
manageable in 2 weeks. Yep.
So let's aim to have the one that we're going to put on our spool finished.
Okay.
All right. Deal.
Deal.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Good. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody.
See ya. Take
Happy
care.
stitching.
Bye.